What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live podcast. Be back in 30 seconds. What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live podcast, episode number 43. Today, we are nothing but nightmares, but there's ZARDOZ.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
It's good, Council of Comics. Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live podcast, episode number 40. Oh, it's 44. I put 43 up there. It's actually number 44. It's number 44. Thank you guys for watching. If you have not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you're watching on Facebook, jump on over to the YouTubes and hit the subscribe button. For those of you that know me through social medias and all that, some of you might not be able to get in contact with me because unfortunately I was hacked and Facebook disabled everything. They shut me down. They said no more for you. But and I am unable to get in contact with anybody, so I might not be on the social medias for a while till I figure it out. But that means you can still get to me through here, through YouTube, and through these other guys, my fellow council. What up, Cliff? What up, Phil? Green shirt guy.
So what we learned is if one of you goes missing, I will summon the search party. I will call every number. I will ignite every fire. I will be the one with the Amazonian bow lighting the torch in Greece. I will be there.
Was very, very worried that something had happened, and I assured him, Cliff, no, it's only been 45 minutes.
It's the fucking 45 minutes of 2023.
But yeah, so until I figure that out, whatever. We'll be going back on TikTok. We haven't been there in a while, and that's my fault because I was a little stretched thin. But since they wiped me of the other things, I'm going to try to be a little more focused on the TikTok a little bit more, see what happens. And I'm also trying to get us on Rumble as well. So
I want a poll. I want a user poll about going to Rumble. Okay? Because
in the comments, do you want us to go to Rumble or not?
Yeah, please let us know, because I've been on there 5 seconds and I've been horrified instantly.
That's how Cliff judges it, everyone. 5 seconds. That's all he needs.
Listen,
I've never been on it.
Looking around, I'm sorry that it's all things that I find very worrisome.
That's you, though.
I know it's me, but y'all don't know what it's like to be
Council of Comics believes in free speech. You might have bad speech. You may have bad.
Free speech and directly outrageous, like whatever you want to call it, okay? The outrageousness, right? And I'm not here for it. I know things are.
I hear you, but you know what? That's you. Everybody else has their right to listen to whatever, wherever it's good or it's trash.
That's okay. I can't wait. At the end of the world's gonna look real interesting, and we're all gonna have a fun.
We're already at the end of the world, Cliff. All right.
We've been at the end of the world. Read a few books, and you will know. Look, Ken is already Rumble is freedom. I already saw. The first video there, Ken, made me think of you. First video made me think of you.
But anyway, leave in the comments. Love you to think about Rumble. All right, take a breather, Cliff. Take a breather. All right. So, as you guys know, there is a lot going on in the film industry right now. There's currently a writer's strike and an actor's strike that commenced on Wednesday. And I believe, let me bring it up here. So the actors went on strike. The writers have been on strike. Now, what the actors are fighting for is more pay overall, because once everything started going super digital and streaming, the actors weren't paid the right amount that they were supposed to, and they got basically nothing. One actor showed their residuals on a YouTube TikTok thing, and there was like 30 videos of shows they had been in, and they only got like 5 cents, 25 cents, and out of 30 shows that they were on, they got a royalty check for $25. And I was like, wow. Fran Drescher is the president of the Actors Union, and she had an amazing speech. Just to break down what happened real quick, the actors paused to strike for about 12 days. They gave the company, because the company said, hey, give us 12. They said, oh, give us 12 days so we can sit down. Maybe we can iron something out. So the actors in good faith said, okay, we'll give you 12 days. So when Fran Drescher did her speech, she said, we didn't hear one time from the studios during that whole 12 days. There was no communication whatsoever. What they did was they took those 12 days to go film all the things they needed to film, do the premieres that they needed to do, and get it all out the way. So she felt, she said it was a travesty.
Initially, too. Before that, when she was out walking when just the writers were striking, she was out, because the actors were and the directors, some of the directors, not all of them, were supporting the writer's strike. And she really stuck her foot in her mouth a couple times and then had to walk it back. She's done better since. I will give her credit.
What did she say? Do you remember what she said?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was not exactly supportive of the writers. It was kind of like, well, we're here, but that kind of thing.
Well, they're all on board together now, so
they are now, yeah.
One of the things that was said that leaked out was that the studios wanted to say you were an extra, right? And this is your first extra on a movie. They wanted to AI scan you and never pay you again and use you in future movies whenever they want. They actually put that as in the contract for them to read. And I was like, yo, you gotta have some balls to put that in the contract. You gotta have some cojones. And another one, which don't know if this is true or not, but they said the studios are willing to let the strike go on, let them lose their houses, and then we'll see.
That one was a leaked email that someone leaked it on purpose.
Let me just, with that, and I'm not standing up for the CEOs, but that's standard negotiating. That's what that is. They know that they can outlast the writers. So the idea is let them go poor, then they'll come to the table and take whatever we want. That's standard negotiating. You might not like it, but that's the way it is. Because I'm in a union right now.
But isn't this,
and hold on, I'm in a union right now, and don't think UPS won't try to do the same thing to us.
Right.
I'm not trying to get myself in trouble with work, but yeah.
Shouldn't two people come to the table with good negotiations, intentions?
Ideally, you come to the table negotiating in good faith. I don't.
Right, that's what I mean. But like something like that is like a blatant kind of thing. Like,
you also have to negotiate from a position of power if you think you're going to win sometimes too.
Right, but do you want to look like a tyrant, or do you want to look like you actually care about these people?
I don't think they care either way.
They don't care either way, because how many times in our lifetime alone have we seen strikes? And every time we know they're tyrants, and then the negotiation goes through, and we go right back to normal. And sometimes like the MTA strikes, they use public frustration to make moves, because then the public turns against the people who are striking.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Well, whatever.
It's not. Whatever.
I know. Well, I mean, but
totally
it really is. It really is, because we haven't changed the thing. We don't change anything, and
this is going to tell, right? This is going to tell.
2 steps forward and 3 steps back. This one is going to tell. I really hope they get it. I really do. I really want them to. And also, Fran Drescher was misquoted on 2 occasions where they cut what she said short. Okay, because since May, she's been posting on her social media that we have to stay united and together. Since May, she's been on it. Mm-hmm. But anyhow, I just want to, because I always have loved her, and I always feel that she has been a strong advocate So
Is she
I
on
really-
she on
that?
Rumble?
no, but let me write to her. Tell her that she should get on there and light the fires.
Listen, there are going to be a lot of actors that struggle during this time period. There's going to be a lot of sacrifice because I feel like the studios will succumb, but it won't be until they've given up a lot.
A couple of
A
actors.
lot.
A couple of actors have pledged to keep some writers afloat, in
Well,
lieu
this is the
of-
time, right? All these actors with these millionaire actors and multi-million. This is step up. Put your money where your mouth is now.
Well,
got
and also,
people-
let's keep in mind, not everyone is always a multi-millionaire actor, right? Because like the net worth that we can Google does not mean that that's what they're looking at. in the
Yeah,
back.
but okay, let's just say people that have $5 million in their account or more. There are thousands of actors that have $5 million or more in their account. And if they're real, I'm not saying you have to do this, is just my opinion. You should be willing to put up something along with the other thousands of other people that have that money, because a little from each is a lot.
Well, let me tell you this, okay? The people. If you want to help a writer who's living in a single apartment, then the people who've got $5 million in the bank, they should target the little guys with the one bedroom.
Go bottom to top. Yeah.
People like George Clooney, they're the ones who should target the dude with the family of 5. Like, George, help that guy out. You go over there, help that one. It's like William, you haven't made a lot of movies. You only got like 3 Netflix series going on. All right, William, can you help out George? George is in a 1-bedroom in North LA. I think you can handle that, baby. All right, let's keep it moving.
So an important point I want to make is, like, I think this time period, which is going to be about, I'm saying it's going to be about 6 months or so that this strike is going to last. That's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a long.
Yeah.
If it goes 6 months, there's going to be this space where we're at as a Council of Comics and other YouTube. We have to fill the entertainment void. You feel me? They're going to have shows out. They're going to have these things, but these aren't going to be great things. These are going to be like a return of reality TV again on another
I told
kind
you,
of.
I
you know what I
called that
mean?
months ago.
So the space of entertainment, this is for everybody else out there that has a YouTube channel as well. This time period is going to be very, very important on how you grow your channel. Because it's kind of like with COVID, when everybody started their channel during COVID, there was nothing to do but YouTube. And thousands of channels exploded. And some, now that everything's kind of back to normal, quote unquote, people don't get the growth as they used to. And now this time period, we as a council, we're going to step up and do more things. But you as YouTubers out there, do more things, because there's going to be an entertainment bubble coming soon. And then all you actors and aspiring actors, when the strike is over, get ready, because they're going to be filming like it's no tomorrow. So have your headshots ready, have all that stuff ready to go.
Well, and you can be a little more choosy afterward too, because they're gonna need you.
Not in Hollywood. Remember, Hollywood's still a beast. You
Yeah.
don't want to work? You don't want to work. We got 1,000 other people that want to do it. You know what I mean?
A scam,
Yeah.
the extra.
Yeah. All right. Next up on the news. All right, we gotta talk about this a little bit. James Gunn has announced, I say, about 4 or 5 new characters for Superman Legacy and the actors. I knew this was gonna be a good one for Cliff, because Cliff is hardcore DC, and I really value his opinion on this.
I understand that there's a lot of pressure on this man, and like I don't know all the factors. When you just feel like things are going wrong, and like I feel like he is the face of it, even though everything happening behind him must be like cities on fire situation, right?
Mhm.
Because like we've moved into the Authority is in this movie.
Not anymore.
Huh?
Not anymore. That was a fake out.
Is it? Because the last thing I read today was the
it
Authority.
was announced
and
that
the
they put the Authority on the casting calls and all that to fake people out. Authority won't be in this movie. Not to say they won't have their own movie, but the Authority won't be in this movie.
I don't know what he's doing. There's already too many characters.
All right, Phil, what were you gonna say?
I think you just said it right there. I think it's almost like they're faking it out now to like, oh, look at all these bad decisions we're maybe making, and then like maybe that is the plan. Like, is
that a plan?
Is that a real plan? Maybe
the plan is that there is no plan.
All right, so we know Superman's gonna be David Cornsweat.
I'm sorry.
The ins and outs of this Cornsweat, yeah.
That's unfortunate. Wait a minute. You work in Hollywood and can make your name anything you want it to be, and you left it as Cornsweat.
Come on, maybe he likes his name.
Corn Sweat. Corn Sweat.
That's not better.
It's fine.
All right.
Okay.
Corn Sweat.
You know
maybe we
what
say with an
Johnny
accent.
Knoxville's real name is?
So what do you want him to call himself? David Knoxville?
No, I'm just saying. You know, Johnny Knoxville. His real name is Phil Clapp.
No, I didn't know that.
So
there
like,
you
you
council
can make
trivia.
it whatever you want it to be.
So Superman is David Cornsweat. Some things people were saying about him is that he's got a very, very similar look to Henry Cavill in the face. Not so much in the body, but very similar. And makes people say, well, if you're going to cast somebody that looks just like Henry Cavill, why didn't you just bring back Henry Cavill?
Well, because this is the younger model. But by the way, the first episode of The Politician the first time I watched that series, I was like, oh my God, this guy's like Christopher Reeve. Oh my God, like the whole time. Yeah, and then at one point, the guy who's like falling in love with him, it's like, how can you talk to me like this while you're standing there looking like Superman? And I was like, he died.
Oh, that's all right. So I would say the community is about 65-35 on this in a positive way. They're a little upset, not too upset. They just wanted to get over it. Lois Lane will be Rachel Brosnahan, right? Brosnahan. Okay. As seen in The Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Love her.
Yeah, I'm gonna give that one a thumbs up. Like that,
I want to see The Marvelous Miss Maisel because she's in it.
You will really enjoy it.
Is she marvelous?
Yeah.
In that show,
No, and the show is the perfect setting to show you that she could do comedy, physical comedy, but also that she could be Lois. She's got really great. Look at Kamaria. Look at Kamaria right now.
Rachel Brosnahan would be a great Lois. Okay, so thumbs up for Lois. That's good. All right, here comes the new stuff. Wait, Kamaria has something else. She says, I loved The Marvelous Miss Maisel. I have to watch it now because she's already seen it. I've got to catch up. All right. Guy Gardner is going to be in this movie. Played by Nathan Fillion. From Firefly, The Rookie, some cameos and Guardians. Cliff has a thumbs down.
I like Nathan Fillion. I just don't think this is the role for him. But that's
no. You know. Yeah, I'm right there. I'm like, no thanks. Like
I think he would have been a nice. Honestly, I think he would have been a good Booster Gold.
I'm gonna play. He might have been. I'm gonna play this little theory. Remember the theory about Superman? Oh, not the theory, but remember when Cliff, you just said that the actor was in the show and they were like, "Oh, you just be Superman, why don't you?" Right?
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion is somebody who was Green Lantern before. Talked about Green Lantern and certain things. Yeah. Is James Gunn just going off of these people being in some kind of connection in the media world?
Well, no, there's a
you know what I mean? Like, you could have been this guy. Oh, let's get him for that guy because that's what they.
A lot of fandom wanted him for Hal for a very long time. And now this is like the peace offering. You know,
I mean, I think he could be a good Guy Gardner.
I see Guy, Hal, and Jon Stewart. I see them as mid-30s, and I do not see this man as mid-30s. You know, and I see Kyle as mid to late 20s. So I would love to see that eventually. But I'm like, oh, we're gonna get an old Guy Gardner. Great.
All right, next one. This one has me puzzled. Hawk Girl is going to be in this movie. played by Isabella Merced. The 5'1" Isabella Merced.
That's fine.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, okay. DC can do it.
She's
Yeah,
not
what-
playing. She's not. She's playing a different Hawk
She's
girl.
playing
than-
Kendra Saunders, JSA Hawk Girl.
Yeah. The 5'1" thing has me, and not to play because you should be 5'1" trying to get the thing, but Hawk Girl is a powerful character with stature. You know what I mean?
She's not really tall. She just knows how to swing a mace and do stuff.
Okay. But she was in City of. She was Dora the Explorer, by the way.
Yes, she was.
She was Dora the
Which
Explorer.
that movie wasn't awful.
I didn't watch it.
It's very tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Like I didn't really ever watch Dora the Explorer because my kids just when they were born, we just kind of happened to miss that.
Yeah.
So going into it, I was just like, I think it was either it was streaming or we rented it at Redbox because it was cheap or something like that. It's ridiculous. It's firmly tongue in cheek. They're laughing at themselves at the same time they're telling the story.
She's also in Transformers: The Last Night, if anybody remembers.
No one wants to remember that.
But we'll see. We'll see. Because everybody's looking for that Green Lantern Hawk Girl stuff from the animated show. They want that, but this is a different Hawk Girl. So we'll see.
And a different Green Lantern.
And different Green Lantern, but the other Green Lantern is going to show. He's going to be on the HBO Max series. It's going to be Hal.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah. Next up, Mr. Terrific is in this movie.
Too small.
Played by Edie Gathegi.
Too small.
He's too small.
Too small.
I don't
Some
think
people were
so.
saying Idris Elba would have been a good choice for
maybe.
Mr. Terrific.
Somebody.
I'm very maybe on that one. I mean, I love me some Idris Elba, but we gotta just stop placing him everywhere. Like
because we want Idris to succeed. Damn it!
I do. I want him to succeed. Like at all. Like have him show up and be something that makes me.
I think his
tingle,
character. I think he has a character in DC. I think the Suicide Squad will be a part of James Gunn's thing.
Which, by the way, James Gunn came out and said that it's not. But then,
It will
in
be.
the same breath that he says the Suicide Squad, that Nothing Before Superman Legacy is canon, he then goes on to say that Viola Davis will play Amanda Waller in Waller, and Waller will take place between Peacemaker season 1 and 2. So Peacemaker 1 and 2 and Waller are supposed to be canon, but your Suicide Squad movie that is canon to Peacemaker season 1 is not, James. James, you need to get it together. The fans are watching you. I know it's crazy up in there, James. Whatever's going on in there is scary. Pull it together, James. Make it make sense for us, even if it makes lives.
Yes.
I got
Reach on.
two actors. This guy might be good. I don't really know him from
Who?
anything. Two that I think would be better as Mr. Terrific.
Who?
Michael B. Jordan, because he's in fucking everything right now. Sorry.
Language green shirt guy.
No, sorry, algorithm. But he's got the right build, and Taye Diggs.
Taye Diggs is too old right off the bat.
Taye Diggs still looks young enough to play that.
I don't care. I'm not invested. I'm not
Fast and Furious Taye Diggs, right?
No, that's Tyrese Gibson.
That's Tyrese.
No.
They're
Tyrese,
they're
I would
not all
do.
the same, Sam. They're not all the same. They look different.
Oh, shut up.
I'm gonna send you a video. Have you seen that? I can't remember what show it's from, but it was on Comedy Central, and it's David Allen Greer, his book on how to differentiate black people. The skit is I cried laughing. It's so funny. I'll have to send it to you. I'll have to find it.
Edie Gathegi. I hope I'm saying that right. He was in X-Men First Class.
Yep.
He was playing the guy who should have never died that died. Because he was the mutant that could adapt to anything. And then Sebastian Shaw put the power in his mouth and he's like absorbed that. And he kept changing into different things and finally he exploded. And everybody was like, but he's supposed to be able to adapt to anything.
He's one character they could have brought back because when they thought he was dead in the comics, he still found a way to keep adapting until they recovered him.
Yeah.
Who was the guy from Ant-Man? He wasn't in Ant-Man as well, was he? The last one?
No, that's the guy from The Good Place.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Next up, Metamorpho's gonna be in this movie.
I love him.
I can't see that guy as anything other than Victor Zsasz.
Anthony
Really, you should watch
Carrigan.
Barry because it's great.
Well, because he was Zaz in Gotham.
Yes, he was, but he was great
And he
in
was
Barry.
great as Zaz.
Mate,
As no
honestly, he looks like Metamorpho off the
He
bat.
does. He's gonna make a great Metamorpho. Again, it's too many people in one movie for me.
It is
He'll look
too
great
many
in
people in one movie. You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, and you know they got it. You know they're gonna mention Gotham.
You know we
You know
screwed
they're
up
gonna
really bad
mention
in
Gotham.
Flash, right? Just watch this piece of crap we're putting out next.
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
We're spending a ton
Oh,
of money this
we're
time.
thumbs up on Metamorpho. We're thumbs up on Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Anthony Carrigan, you know, he was great in Gotham.
He's a
and,
good
I-
actor. I just don't even know. Yeah.
I didn't see Barry, but
Love
they
Barry.
weren't able. This is just a rumor. They weren't able to sign him, but
I
rumor
can't see
is
Rick
that
Left.
Alexander Skarsgård is in the running to be Lex Luthor.
No, I don't see him as.
They were trying to sign him before the writers' strike happened, but they couldn't do it.
I would love it. If he's a lot-
If
a
it
lot
would
of
go
presence
through,
and
it
he's
would
got
be a
presence
thumbs
and
up for me. Like,
Yeah,
that would be, yeah. I think he's a good actor, and I think he'd be able to pull off a good villain. So
I think he's a
if
good
it went
actor. I
through,
just don't. I don't believe.
I would give it a thumbs up.
Nicholas Hoult is also rumored.
He also has great charisma. Like
he's
you, I need a charismatic Lex. I don't need this Joker knockoff psycho super intellect that we got last time around.
Well, let me give you a little. As you surf the web, you get a little bit of the plot of what Superman Legacy is going to be. Superman Legacy is supposedly going to be an event happens in the Middle East, and Superman goes there, but he doesn't agree with the way the JSA characters and all them want to handle the situation. So Superman butts heads with the JSA. That's pretty much what and Lex Luthor is trying to solve that problem in the Middle East because he hates Superman and he wants to show that we're better type thing. That's somewhat the premise of
Wait a
Superman
minute. Lex Luthor's trying to one up Superman. They've never done that before.
Movie wise, that's never been a focus, so it will be interesting.
I'll give you
see.
in the movies. You're right, but in the comics, I mean, come up with another story.
Yeah,
Oh, why
and
don't they just wait a
you
minute?
know,
Wait a minute!
but
I got an
actually-
idea, DC. I got an idea, DC. Put Brainiac in this because you haven't used that 100,000 times either.
it's true. In
I
this
would
movie,
love to see Brainiac on the big. Like, I want a real Brainiac
done right.
story. You know, like there's a lot of live action things we have not gotten, and I want you to know
for good
there's-
reason.
Well, do you really think it's a good reason we haven't gotten Brainiac?
Yes, because Brainiac's been done, and it's Brainiac.
By
That's been
who?
done.
It's been over. It's on film. I will give you. It's not been done on
not
film.
just film, but like animation and other stuff. Brainiac's been done a lot.
And also, wait, I just want you to know, Brainiac's only been done well when it comes to animation, only a couple times. Like the way they've used him in the new DC animated universe, I do not approve. That bullet hitting him, and then the Dark Circle being involved in the past, trying to get fragments of him, and then we find out Brainiac 5 is one of 5 clones of him in the future. I do not approve. I do not approve of any of that.
Go ahead.
No, I love Brainiac stories like Brainiac having been to Krypton and that he is like the stuff of nightmares for Kryptonians. I love that angle. And I think you get a great Brainiac story with Supergirl involved. For Supergirl to be like, I was a teenager when all that happened. It is horrifying. It is awful going to face Brainiac. I feel like that would be great. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's all right. And this movie takes place, James Gunn said it. The world is filled with superheroes, and the world knows Superman is, and they love Superman. Like, that's where this starts. Like, this
How does that work
it's not
when
like an
everyone
origin
hated
thing.
him last time?
Because it's a new
Well,
universe.
this is a new universe. It's a new universe, yeah. You know how DC does.
And even then, it's clear not everyone hated Superman last time around.
Well,
You know, there was a lot of people mourning for Superman, and also the movie glossed over the phases of people mourning Superman. You know, they were like, oh, look, there's like a cult for Superman over here, but we're not gonna touch that. And oh, look at these people who mourn him all the time. And it's like, and look at these maniacs on the news who condemn his existence.
I mean, I don't know. We had a nice conversation about Superman last night, Cliff. So you know where I stand.
I think this movie will try to present Superman in the light.
Oh. Oh, there we go.
I'm still here too. There's some technical difficulties over here, but that's all right. We're going. Okay. All right. So that's your movie news. That's your movie news for this week. What do you guys like about it? Don't like about it? Leave in the comment below. All right. So next up is our review part of the show. We got two movies this week.
Hold on, box office.
Oh snap! I forgot about the box office, bro.
Yeah.
I know you.
Oh my god!
You're killing me.
See, this is why
I did Mission Impossible. Dude.
This is the box office.
Hollywood is bleeding.
Got Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning. Yeah, 56 million. 56 million. Let's see what it did. 80 worldwide.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's been out though.
No, wait, it's kind of done more than that. It's at 235 worldwide.
I think I had a release earlier over there than it did over here.
That sounds right.
Yeah, it's not bad. 235. It's not bad. I hear it's an amazing movie. 56 to me is kind of low though. I think it's the highest of the Mission Impossibles, but I was expecting like a little bit more than that. But that is what it is. Sound of Freedom comes in at number 2. Sound of Freedom is up 37%.
Correct.
And made another 27 million.
Controversy is great at bringing people in.
Listen, Angel Studios and Sound of Freedom are making a splash.
It's also only in 400 more theaters too. So
amazing what this movie is doing. The controversy, I guess, is because they call it a conservative movie, but I think it's more about trafficking and all that other stuff. But it has a very strong conservative base. But this movie is blowing up, man. It's very like a Christian base as well. I'd really like to see what their totals are. They're at 85 million, which is really good.
And it didn't cost them nearly that to make it.
Yeah. And this is supposed to be a true story. Henry, what's his name? Caviezel of Jesus fame is in the movie. But keep an eye. If this is up again next week, because it's rarely heard about things going up like that in the second week.
Yeah,
so if it's up, if it's up in the third week, watch out. Insidious: The Red Door is down 60%. They made 13 million. Horror movies are real easy and cheap to make. They can cost you like 15 to 20 million. So they're at 122. They're continuing their run. This is from Blumhouse. And Blumhouse has become
like the supernatural universe.
Yeah, Blumhouse has become kind of the king of horror right now. They're the king of horror right now.
Well,
there's not a lot of other horror stuff, but they're the king. You know what I mean?
The production costs are low because I'm not disparaging writers, but the writing on it doesn't have to be crazy, and really all you're doing is paying for special effects.
And just have a couple moments in there where you scare the crap out of people.
Correct. I mean,
and that's it.
And they're working.
The last horror movie that you can think of that had a global story.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
Yeah.
It's usually 2 or 3 sets. Someone running out,
I mean, they cost like $10-15 million to make.
Right.
You just buy a lot of buckets of blood. That's all. That's
right.
the number one thing.
You maybe get one name actor.
And the key is actually the writer. If you get somebody that can write a good horror movie, which is what it is. But
I
if you can
feel
write a good horror movie.
The practical effects people are the real heroes. Let's not forget them too.
Yeah, but they're bringing to life something that somebody wrote.
Right, but
but
practical
sometimes
effects
the
aren't nearly-
visual.
Yeah,
the
I'm not
practical
putting them
effects
down.
don't cost nearly what they used to, so that you're still saving.
I'm just saying it's basically cheaper, but you got a lot of hardworking folks that make the magic come together to scare the
Oh,
shit
I'm
out
not
of you.
saying that at all.
Yeah,
I'm not.
I agree.
I'm not disparaging. I'm saying it costs less because of
Yeah. When you spend $10 million on a movie, $15 million, and it makes $125 million,
right.
you're banking.
Right.
Like, you're banking than most studios. Like, Flash lost $250 million. That's crazy.
I don't think we're ever gonna see another
Flash is
Blair
off the
Witch
top
1
10
again.
right there. Like
Flash is
just
gone.
gone
Flash
off
is
the top
gone.
10.
Number 4, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I saw it today.
And
Okay,
I saw
what'd you think?
Indiana Jones. I enjoyed it. Wasn't the best of the Indiana Jones.
was it worse than Crystal Skull?
No, it was slightly better than Crystal Skull. Slightly better. Not by far, but slightly. There are moments where you're like, this is good. I don't need to see any more Indiana Jones though. The story is over. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Its story is over. The spin-off, I told Kamari that I said they're not doing a spin-off until Harrison Ford is dead. God bless him, like he lives long. But they're not gonna have, because there are flashbacks in the movie but that was one part of the movie I did not like when they de-aged him. They had the same voice as the older Indiana Jones.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it didn't match. You know what I mean? Like you could tell there was an older Indiana Jones voicing it because it just wouldn't match up. And I was like, but the train scenes, it was pretty good.
Well, they have to give him the old voice, otherwise you don't know.
Well, I would
Not
think
that
they
you
would
don't know who it
adjust
is, you
it.
know what I'm saying?
I would think that they would adjust it a little to make it sound younger, but they didn't do anything like that. The spinoff would be the main character. She has a sidekick in the movie. And I could see them not as Indiana Jones, but like as another thing, but it's from the Indiana Jones universe that you would see. She was good. I think she was great in the movie. The sidekick is good. But it was just a nice, okay.
If your reaction is she was good, not great, then I automatically we don't need to have a series with her.
Exactly. I
Then
didn't fall
right.
in love like, oh my god, I love her character. I
Listen.
did not fall in love like that.
There are many times we need to put a lid on things. This is it. If we want to have like adventures in that style, let's have it with something all new and just do something all new.
Yeah.
They want to actually bring it. If you want to do like a Indiana Jones, bring back like a young Indiana Jones thing, something like
right. And if you don't want to besmirch the saga, do something new.
Right.
I agree.
Have fun, classic adventures.
Yeah.
And try. I mean, I don't.
This was a good send off. The John Williams score is amazing. But this is a good send off. We don't need any more Indiana Jones after this.
Yo, the fact that they had Harrison Ford out there with an Instagram video thanking fans for loving this character for so many years and inviting them to come to theaters to watch this one, that is terrible. Like the fact that the movie's doing so bad, it's like, Harrison, could you please
what's the global number on it? How bad is the bloodbath? Like,
it's a 302, but
302.
302 is not. That's bad, but it's not bad like they were thinking. Because look, it's still in the top 5, and it only dropped another 56%. Last week was another 56%. The Indiana Jones, I gotta say, it was just good. You should go see it if you're an Indiana Jones fan. You'll get your closure. You'll get your stuff. All right. Number 5, Elemental, dropped 13%, made another $8 million. They're over 125. They're at 311. Not great, but I think Pixar is okay with that. considering they thought it was going to do a lot worse
Yeah.
from earlier review.
And it's
Spider-Man Across
Spidey.
Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, 6 million, only dropped 24%. Staying in there. It's grossed 663 million. It's grossing Marvel Phase 1 numbers.
Mhm.
Yep.
I don't
MCU
think it's
Phase
gonna
1's
get-
and that's great.
I think 700 million is going to be tough now. I don't think it's
Even still, this right here is exceptional. For
Yeah.
an
Oh, I'm
animated
not
film.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this one's a big success. And Elemental might be right behind it. And Green Shirt Guy has brought this up before. It's a good time because there's not a lot of competition for a children's movie.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
the
it's a
one
good
after this, I'm gonna say reaches 900 and tests a billion.
They all
Sequel
went and saw
to this.
Elemental on me last night while we were watching Zardoz. The
Did you
review
like it?
was, I didn't see it. My kids saw it. The review
Oh.
it was okay.
Okay.
They're like, it has all the things you expect from Pixar. It was okay.
Transformers: Rise of the Beast hanging in there. This is how I can tell. This is how you tell movies are good. Because Transformers has been in the top 10 since its release. It's just been slowly dropping down, slowly dropping down. It was released in a bad time, man. It was released in a bad time. It's still making money. It's at 420, which is good. That's amazing.
Yeah, but most of that's overseas, though.
Yeah, but that's still.
260 of it.
I'll take $420 million. I'm not saying. I'm just.
Yeah.
I mean,
most
the
of it's
budget
overseas.
for the film was roughly $200 million to begin with.
Yeah.
Right.
They're going to break even with this movie.
Right.
That's what they're going to do. The next one, when they bring the G.I. Joe and all the other stuff, is where they're expecting the big money to come. Number 8 is No Hard Feelings.
I want to see.
That is the what's her face? Jennifer. What's her
Jennifer
name?
Lawrence?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence. That's at about 46 million domestic, which is really good because these movies don't cost a lot.
The budget for this was $45 million.
For No Hard Feelings.
Yep.
So they have to double it to break even. Well, not really. I think they've broken even already with marketing and all that, which
I
is a
don't think they
win.
spent anything on the
That's a win
marketing.
for them. That's a win.
Here's how they.
Number
I
9
don't
is
think they spent anything on marketing. I didn't hear this movie was coming out until it came out.
Number 9 is Joyride, made about 2.5. And number 10, we have The Little Mermaid hanging in there.
Also hanging in there.
It's hanging in there.
But it is losing theaters.
Yeah, quick little ones over here. Astro City made $1 million. Ruby Gilman, Teenage Kraken made $1 million. The Flash still made about 720,000. We're not even gonna touch that. Guardians still up there.
Well, look how many theaters that Flash lost too.
Yeah, they're floundering. All right, so that's your box office for this week. We got a couple movies to go over. So let's see. We got a comment here. Kamaria says, the de-aging technology has gotten so much better, though, because the de-aging on Will Smith and Gemini Man compared to the de-aging on Harrison Ford and Indiana Jones looks like there were decades between. Yeah. He looked like young Indiana. He looked
like old Indy, but he looked like young Indy.
Yeah, he sounded like old Indy, but looked like young Indy. And if they had mastered that, it would have been wonderful. You know what I mean?
De-aging and he looked like a young Will Smith and Gemini Man. It's his mouth didn't move right.
Yeah. Like, and with the de-aging, it's like it's 80-year-old Harrison Ford walking. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not a younger Indy, like a 35, 40-year-old Indy. It's the older one with the young face. So you can kind of tell that he's moving differently or slow.
Well, okay, so let me just give you this as a perspective. So he de-ages because he goes back in time, right?
No, it's a flashback.
Nope,
Oh,
it's
okay.
it's like the intro.
Before.
It's the
Okay.
intro, the setup to the movie.
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
much.
Okay, never mind then. I was gonna.
Yeah,
say
it's one of those
something.
lost adventures type thing.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, like how Last Crusade starts him out young.
Yeah.
This starts him out younger than he is
Okay.
through this
Yeah,
adventure.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like the setup.
I like when they mentioned the Spear of Destiny because that was supposed to be the next movie.
Okay,
But that was one
yeah.
of the MacGuffins in the thing was the Spear of Destiny, and then they're like, "Oh, it's a fake," and then it goes to the real thing. Spoiler alert, sorry.
I like how they
Alright.
showed that big battle at with that big battle.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
big
yeah.
historical battle was really
yeah.
kind of cool to see the way they showed
That was a great part. That was a great part. All right, first one I'm gonna bring up. These guys got together, and they had a little thing.
Got to
They
it.
Yes.
They watched ZARDOZ. I'm gonna let you guys take it away. Go ahead.
Well, I've seen it before, but I got to tell you what, it actually aged better than I remember.
It's very
That movie, there's a science
very
fiction.
high concept.
There's a science fiction story there somewhere, but like the sexual revolution is in full swing in 1974, and that's what is shown through this movie. And
Yes, it's very philosophical more than anything else, but yeah.
Right, it is very philosophical to the point where it conflicts when some of the characters are bringing up science that's even beyond what we understood in 1974.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, wow, someone like massively intelligent wrote this line, and then they're like, and the penis is the greatest enemy to man. And I'm like, and then there were other writers in the room.
The gun is good, the penis is evil.
Right? Like, I'm just like, yo, there's like a philosophy here, and then there's like some very some intelligently written nuanced things, and then it's off the it's like there's three different people writing this story.
Yeah.
Right?
Yo, it's very much a man out of time story, but with other things going on.
Toy Gang says Sean Connery's retired, and that film takes a lot of balls to wear. No pun
It
intended.
certainly does. Because
Shout out to Toy Gangs.
yeah, clearly.
Toy Gangs got a great channel on YouTube. Go follow him. He covers all the collector figures.
But you got to remember, he's also coming off, Bond movies where he's wearing the shortest shorts in when he's on the beach that you've ever seen. So really, it's just you're adding the little cross on his chest.
There's a lot going on in this movie.
It's crazy. It's a crazy movie.
Give me some moments. No problem there, Toy Gangs.
All right, so the head that floats around being Zardoz, telling the what are they called, the
Brutals.
Yeah, but they're not Brutals. They're the chosen ones.
Oh,
they're
the exterminators.
The exterminators.
The exterminators because they exterminate Brutals.
And Toy Games. Yes, the head does show up in Rick and Morty.
That's right. I like what you've got.
Show me what you got.
Right, not unironically, that something vastly powerful next to an apparently inferior species easily is seen as a god, regardless of what's actually going on. And that episode alone of Rick and Morty can send you into an existential crisis instantly.
Yeah.
Right? No, seriously, because
just get shrifty. It's okay.
No. I was gonna say that is what's going on the surface, the deep layeredness of why would Rick even act this way, But Rick is very clear that they are just puppets in everything in that episode. And he's like, all right, this is what we gotta do is for the fate of the world. But anyhow, that's a lot of what's going on here. This Zardoz thing is just the symbol of I am your god, listen to me, spewing a nearly infinite amount of guns.
Of all shapes and sizes, too.
Of all shapes and sizes. Yes, go be our enforcement, kill the whatever they are, kill the Brutals, because all they know, because the gun is good, it delivers death. The penis is bad, it spreads a seed, which makes more life that consumes.
Right.
Then we find out is just a society of mad gods who are mad that they're eternal, which all they are is just humans that figured out a way to be eternal in this tesseract inside this head that is the vortex.
Well, no, the vortex was outside of it, because remember the head lands in that little valley.
Right,
So
but that pocket that pocket of reality is a pocket of reality. That's why he can stand and see out to the real world, but no one can get in.
Right. Well, I'm talking about where all the whatever they're called, the people, the people who live forever,
The Eternals.
they don't
Yeah.
live inside the head.
No, but they do live inside this Tesseract, which you can actually see what's going on from the outside.
Oh,
which
right,
is just-
right.
Right. So
No,
I'm like, you access the vortex through traveling through the head.
It's kind of funny too, and I think we kind of touched on this a little bit last night too. Is at the beginning you find out that this is supposed to take place in 2293 or 2239.
It's 2293.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a
So
little
like-
too close.
It's 200 and something years from now, yet none of the guns are updated, and they're living in a cottage out in the middle of the Irish countryside. So,
There was that, like, it was almost like they had like a projector on like the people's skin was like the effect at one point.
Yes.
Like that was a really like it was almost like here's our trippy section of the movie for you.
yeah, and
Yeah,
your
but
punishment if you don't follow the rules is they age you. You don't die.
Yeah.
They just age you.
Hmm.
And
To
if
leave
die,
you
they bring
older and
back.
crazier. And then that's when she uses her mental. So the first woman uses her mental powers on him. That's
But
the
didn't
first
she
woman
know
again.
that he was stronger than her to begin with.
When she broke down his DNA, she realized she was superior to all of them. And she's like, who would create you? You are clearly designed to destroy us.
That's right. And she has 2 weeks to figure that out before they're going to destroy him.
Yes.
Yeah, they didn't have a whole lot of like, yeah, we're gonna break down your DNA. And for 1974, that's a real like, wow, okay.
Right.
No, the way they scientifically spoke about studying him was like brilliant. The fact that they were like an evolved culture that could like use telepathy, brilliant. The fact that things kept coming back to sexuality and the destruction that comes from sex was like off the wall.
You know what? It was like
How about the dinner party when they cast Friend out because he
He refused to join them in the hive mind.
right, and it's the fight started because he has Sean Connery show up as his manservant to serve the food.
Yeah, they're like, friend, it's your turn to serve. We're all supposed to stay humble and take turns. And he's like, absolutely not. This is garbage. There's nothing wrong with it. He's happy to be here.
Right.
You know,
So-
and then one of the Eternals is like, wait a second, I can sense that he has feelings. We shouldn't talk like him about this in front of him.
So give me your overalls, starting with Green Shirt Guy.
I really enjoyed it, and like I said, I haven't seen it in probably about 15 years. I think I enjoyed it more this time than I did last time. It's mid to high sevens.
Okay, Phil.
I would also say a 7. Like, I don't think it's gonna age any worse anymore. Like, it's just like it is what it is. It almost has like a little bit of an art house feel to it now
Mhm.
when you watch it. So, it's, it definitely shows its age. It definitely shows that this is like, we're full swing in the sexual. Like, it's a very
Oh, big time.
hypersexual movie. And when Cliff said
Yes.
that, I was like, oh, it's not that hypersexual.
Yo,
It was like whenever there came like 3
and I'm
seconds
like, well,
to say
there we
that,
go.
there's another hypersexual scene. Like,
How about where he takes that woman who's the one of the apathetics? He's like,
Yeah.
just have her. And he's like,
Right,
she
and then
doesn't
he's
do
like
this, so he
disappointed
throws her.
because she is apathetic. He's like, oh, she's just gonna lay there and do nothing.
Right.
And it's like,
then
dude,
he
20
remember he
minutes ago,
throws her.
20 minutes ago, we saw a memory of you just tagging some lady on a beach because you captured her. I'm like, what is this?
No. He took her in the name of Zardoz.
We all know what it is, and I'm not saying what it is because of the algorithm, but we all know what we're talking about, all right?
Oh, absolutely.
Suddenly he had a conscience now that the woman was an apathetic, but he didn't have no conscience on the beach.
I don't know if he had a conscience. I think it was more of like, I'm not enjoying this because she's not fighting back.
Exactly.
As messed up as that is.
That is super. There are some messed up things here. There are. But I appreciate.
Cliff,
I
yeah,
appreciate
give me your
that's
thing.
a high concept.
How about the scene where they're talking about erections for like 5 minutes?
oh, with the like little jar.
Oh my god, that was
That's what I meant. Like when I would think like, oh, this ain't that hypersexual. there would be like another scene right there, like bam, to remind you how hypersexual
Yeah,
we're going.
because it
for.
was funny because I was like, oh, this movie isn't hypersexual at all with him licking that guy's hand. And then we laugh, and then like a scene would go on, and then it would be like, we don't understand erections properly. And it's like, well, here we go again with this movie. Here we go again.
All right. So you guys overall are okay with it. You
was
guys
fun.
out there, yeah, you want to go see Zardoz? Get it on Laserdisc, or you can probably rent
Blu-ray.
it somewhere. Yeah, or
You
Blu-ray.
know, or just pay for it, or do the things you people like to do that you don't pay for things. But that's
You can
on
get
you.
it on eBay for cheap.
So the next one we're gonna have to do, not a quick one, but somewhat quick. Was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
This is a classic 80s horror film starring Robert Englund, directed by Wes Craven. This is the original
And do
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Do not forget Heather Langenkamp. Okay, she is our hero in this movie. All
Yes.
right.
I was gonna say this is like a
I-
girl power flick in the end, right?
I haven't
Well,
seen this
Nancy.
movie in probably 20, 25 years as well. And I didn't remember her that well. I will say this. I think she looks better than Jamie Lee Curtis. Of the Scream Queens, I pick Heather.
I was gonna say Jamie Lee has a special place in my heart because she's the one that really put up a fight before anyone else was known to put up a fight, right? But then of course, but here, I love Nancy, and like Nancy is like, all right, we know audiences like this. We know audiences like the woman fighting back, even though she seems cornered, she seems powerless, you know. But it's like a beauty the beast scenario. They started cultivating this idea after Halloween, right? So like this is like the first time. This is like the first conscious foray into the final girl is the hero, right?
Mm.
So I really like that, and of course, you know, we've got things in the Nightmare on Elm Street series, like they weren't afraid for like the boys to be portrayed as sexy, like Johnny Depp. Like I think that is for me.
This is Johnny Depp in one of the co-roles here.
Yes,
This is
absolutely.
Young
first
Johnny.
You know,
Um,
and his character really tries. Like he's basically that boyfriend that's like, you know, I do essentially think you're crazy, but I'm gonna support you. Like we're gonna try and figure this out.
How about this as the concept of this movie? Well, hold on, let me back up. I remember these movies when they came out, and that the commercials used to scare the crap out of me. I'm 46 now. It's not, you know, I still watch in the afternoon because I'm a wuss. But the concept of this movie, I don't think it really we've had something. So most of the killers, you know, Jason and Michael Myers and whoever else, they come and get you. This guy. And the idea is, well, if I fall asleep, I can sleep through it. This guy comes and gets you while you're trying to escape. In your dreams, you can't escape him.
You know, it's funny. When I
I
watched it,
will say this, with the exception of Michael Myers, the rest of them all have a theme for revenge.
Sure.
Michael Myers is like, no, that's what I'm saying. Everyone has a theme for revenge. Michael Myers is just this lurking evil that manifests through him. Depending on which of the many lores you want to follow through on, I get it. I know the fandom is super fanatical about it, but that's how I perceive Michael, and I remain to perceive him. Whereas like Freddy is like this whole like I was like a child murderer, ha ha ha, and then the parents got together and burned me alive in a church.
Can we talk about that for a second? No,
Phil,
in his shed where he took the kids.
I was just
That's
gonna say,
why
I
they
thought
all
when I
seem to-
watched it, if I knew nothing about like Nightmare on Elm Street and watched it like today, I would have thought it watched a lot like an episode of Stranger Things.
Yeah,
Just the whole vibe and the music and like you
Well,
know,
Stranger Things drew from this heavily.
yeah, it was so.
Can we talk about that? So the hidden thing until about halfway through the movie is that the parents killed him, right? So now he's coming back to kill the children of these people killed. The mother tells Nancy, or whatever her name is in this movie, I can't remember.
Yes.
Tells her,
Nancy.
did we just supposed to gloss over the fact that her divorced husband is like the chief detective in the police force, and was probably part of that, and we're
Yep.
okay with that.
Yeah. No, because they were the whole town was okay
They
with
kept
it.
it a secret. Yeah.
They kept it a secret. They're like, yo, this guy was a threat to our children, our community. We handled our business, and we're gonna go and live with that.
Yeah, they
And
said
then-
they let the law
and then
take
in a
care of
very-
it.
And in a very Stephen King fashion, even though this is not a work of Stephen King, but in a very Stephen King fashion, now y'all got to pay for the consequences of that decision.
Fair.
Toy Gang says I saw that in the theater at age 9. Didn't sleep for a few days.
Oh,
I
what?
wouldn't either. I
Yeah.
wouldn't have either.
This movie is classic, man.
This is like our movie monster. Like this is like
Yeah.
our generation's movie
That's what it was.
monster.
One of them.
Yeah,
What
one of them.
exactly?
Yeah.
When he's chasing them, both was it Tina at the beginning?
Tina's at the
And
beginning.
Nancy. That when he's chasing them, he cuts himself. Like he cuts his fingers off.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then and then he cuts himself over, and then the goo comes out.
Yeah.
Why?
This one, okay, compared to the other ones, this was the more serious one.
Okay,
And number 2. 2 was a little serious as well.
I've only seen.
Once
a couple,
they
I
hit
haven't seen them
3, it was just I was watching this to laugh once they hit 3 because Freddy was
Okay.
the funniest thing in horror that I
They
could
gave him
ever
like a
see.
lot of good one-liners.
Yeah, oh, he was the
and-
king of one-liners when it came to 3. But this was a little more serious. Number 2 was a little more serious, and I like Phil's point about our monsters. So back then was what? Werewolf, Frankenstein, Dracula, the basic monsters, and we had Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, a couple others, and that's a good point that these were our
Does
universal
Chucky
kind of
count as
monsters.
our generation or the generation right after ours?
Whoa.
Chucky.
No, 80s.
Chucky's part of this.
Yeah,
Chucky's
Chucky.
part of
I
this.
go, I go Chucky. Yeah.
I
Chucky.
think this goes from like end of the
what was to
70s.
do, like the
90s.
pinhead. Yeah.
Pinhead. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
See,
So
Pinhead
this
is a special kind of scary.
This
Yeah.
scene right here, I had a few issues with, where he hangs Rod.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll buy that. The police believe he hung himself. That scene, and then the first scene where Tina gets killed. There's no semblance of trying to preserve the crime scene whatsoever.
Hmm.
If this guy hung himself in prison, they wouldn't have cut him down right away. They're gonna figure out what he did. And if you notice, when he first lays down on the cot, he doesn't have shoes on. But when he's hung, he suddenly has sneakers on.
Yeah, this is filming.
It's
This
an
is a
editing
little
mistake.
filming. Yeah, editing
And after they
mistakes.
cut him down, he rolls over. He's dead, but somehow he rolls over. It made no sense.
Look at those classic.
That scene was great. The bathtub scene.
The bedroom scene was not bathroom scene. That was pretty scary. It was just a great movie. I like the ending, how she brought him into the real world. But
Or
the
did she?
trip about the movie is the end of
did
the
she?
movie. Yeah,
Did she though?
it's the end of the movie. Because you could have ended it with no more Nightmare on Elm Street after that. Because at the end of the movie, I think she's dreaming again. She has to be. And Freddy,
the hood of
the
the
car-
the thing goes over, and it's like his
the
letters.
car
Oh,
goes. Yeah, and
I'll
Freddy
posit
grabs the mom
this.
and pulls her through the window.
Yeah.
I don't think she ever woke up.
They
I
don't
think
really
she's
explain it
asleep
in the
that
future
whole time.
ones.
Huh?
Yeah, they don't explain it. They only like in the future ones. I think she's in 3, and I think she's in.
Maybe New
Another
Nightmare.
She's
When
in Freddy's
yelling
Dead. I
across the
think.
street. I think she's still asleep there. Because at the end, remember how she says the thing about whatever. I know who you are, Freddy, and I turn my back on you, blah blah blah. And I want everybody back. And he's like, what? Oh,
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
in
So
Wes Craven's
I
New
think she's
Nightmare.
asleep that whole
Yeah.
time.
Well, New Nightmare was a play on this.
Yeah.
Like it was
Okay.
actually making Freddy real. Like Freddy was a real thing, and they used all the actors. Like she played herself, like the actress name, and they had the director, and she was bringing Freddy to life for real.
Okay.
And he looked different, a little different. It was still Robert Englund playing him, but he looked a little different. But that was like a twist on the whole Nightmare thing.
Right, but you gotta capture evil in stories.
Yeah, that was pretty. I liked it.
It was an interesting take.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I didn't love it, but
So, what are you guys overall? Green shirt guy.
It's fun. I mean, I'm not a horror movie guy. So I put it in the mid 7s. It was fun. I'd watch it again in a few years, but it's not my go-to.
Phil?
It was much better than
it's an easy 8. You know, like it's aged well enough to like I said, this is like I changed Elm Street to like Illinois, and it's Stranger Things. Like it's pretty much. So yeah, it's an easy 8, and it's aged like that well to keep in there. So yeah, it is like the first. Like I said, it's one of our generation's monsters. So
yeah, Cliff.
I'm with Toy Gaines. The first 3 Elm Streets are among my favorites. So like all three Elm Streets are an 8 for me. They're all solid. I appreciate most of what's going on. I love the thematics. And 2 has only gotten better with age for me, because when I was a kid, I was like, this movie feels rather gay. And now I'm older, I'm like, oh, this movie was super gay. I was like, wow.
Not so. The second one was more so than the first one.
No, the first one has like the first and the third
has
one
little tidbits.
Little tidbits, which I appreciate that someone in the production is like, no, we're gonna flip this on its head and people are gonna love it. And then the second one, it turns out that they told Homeboy, they're like, dude, we know you're gay, and we're gonna gay this movie up around you. And he's like, I don't want that. And they're like, we don't care what you want. We're paying you. Get in there.
Well, I give this movie an 8, like Phil says. I think it's a classic horror movie. It's up there, like he's one of the monsters. It's up there with Friday the 13th and Halloween and all that. It was just a good movie, and it spawned a lot of good sequels that eventually we'll get to. But we just wanted to give some honor to this great horror movie by Wes Craven, starring Robert Englund, which he's not reprising. They're gonna do Nightmare again. They're gonna reboot it. He's not coming back. But he supports it, so he says he's done with it. All right, that was Nightmare on Elm Street, y'all, and that's our show for today, my friend. Oh my goodness, we covered a lot today. We want to thank everybody for showing up today to the Film and Box Office News live podcast episode 40. It says 43. It's 44. That was a mess up on my part. That's fine. Remember, what are we doing next week?
I don't know. That's
Do we want to do Nightmare 2?
no.
We don't want to continue with Nightmare 2. Have we named it?
Sucker Punch.
Sucker
No,
Punch.
we never did.
Good.
We never did do Sucker Punch.
All right.
All right.
We're jumping on that Zack Snyder train again. Sucker Punch.
Metaphorically and
Yeah,
almost technically.
I like Sucker Punch. Sucker Punch was a great movie to me. I like it.
Great.
And goes to just Dark Man.
Dark
Dark
Man.
Man.
Wow. I haven't thought about that. You know
Like
what? I was watching something recently. I'm like, isn't Liam Neeson in that?
Dark Man? I'm not
He
sure.
is. Yeah, I think he is. Yep.
Yeah. Next
is
week we're
Dark
gonna do
Man,
Sucker
isn't he?
Punch, but we'll do Dark Man the week after that. All right, Toy Gaines. I look forward to that. All right. So we do this every Sunday. Film and Box Office News. Please like and subscribe below. We'll be back tomorrow night for the new keys and hot comics of the week at 8 p.m. right here, where we go over all the new comic books and all the new keys coming out this Wednesday for New Comic Book Day. Remember, we also have our Council in California series that's out there. I'm going to drop the second episode either Monday or Tuesday. That will be checking out Neil Adams' Crusty Bunkers out in LA as a great shout out to them. A couple of shout outs. Young at Heart Foundation. We want to give them a shout out again. Get in touch with Mike at youngatheartfoundation.com if you want to help out giving some gifts to the kids and putting your thing into that situation. We suggest that. We support that. There are more comments over here. Toy Gaines says sweet, and yes Toy Gaines, very sweet, very yes. Next week we're doing Sucker Punch. Be here at 5 p.m. All right, and then join us tomorrow for new keys and hot comics of the week. All right, so for myself, for Cliff, for Phil, and for Green Shirt Guy, I want to thank you for watching. We love you. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Peace.